Hi there, welcome to day 103, and we are finishing Luke chapter 14 today. And this passage is short, but it is all about the cost of discipleship and the actual following of Jesus. So we know that to accept Jesus' invitation to follow him is sometimes the easy part. The hard part is actually denying yourself and denying everything else and laying it aside and following him and being a true disciple and student and learner of his. And so that's what Jesus describes in this passage. He says, if anyone following him should hate his mother and brother and family, and it does not mean a literal hate. What he's trying to show is the contrast between how much you should love Jesus versus your family and your friends. And this can be hard to comprehend. And I think a lot of times we might think, oh, that's easy to do. We can love Jesus more because of all he did for us. But I know a lot of times we end up putting our family first. And on earth, that seems like a good idea. And we have to remember that our first job is to spend time with Jesus and to glorify him. And so there are things that we have to put aside, like our time with our family, so that we can worship him. And that sounds a little maybe harsh. And it does not mean that you ignore your family for the sake of serving Jesus. But it does mean that you need to put your relationship with Jesus first. And so spending time with him and finding time to do that outside of your family time is so important to make a priority. So if that means getting up earlier, staying up later, finding time in your home where your kids have gone to bed, then that's what you have to do. You have to make it a priority to have that relationship with Jesus. And if he's calling you to do something, then you need to make that abundantly clear to your family so that you can follow him first and foremost. I know a lot of times it's easy to put, if we're married, to put our spouse before Jesus, because it is a different kind of love that we feel, and a different kind of love than even we have for our own children. And so we have to be very careful. And so when we think about idolatry and putting others before Jesus, a lot of times we think of it as bad things, but most of the time it's good things that get in the way, like our family, and they can usurp that position from Jesus. So we have to be very cautious and to guard our hearts in that way, and to guard our minds, so that we can remember who is truly first. And then he finishes up this passage talking about salt and losing its saltiness. And what he's saying here is, you can be salt, but if you're not salty, then you're useless. And I think this is true today, even still, and maybe even more than ever, that some of the worst things of Christianity, some of the worst, the things that cause people to stay away from Christianity, are the Christians. And so we have to be super careful that our lives look different than those around us in a positive way, that we draw people to Christianity and to Jesus in love, and that when we have people in the faith who are judgmental or who are speaking out on social media in a negative way to where it causes others to dislike them and then therefore their faith, then we are actually not being the salt that Jesus calls us to be. And so evaluate, how you're responding to people on social media, what you're posting on social media. Evaluate who you're talking to and what you're saying, because we want to be the salt of the earth, and we want our lives to look different in a positive way and in a loving way for Jesus. So I hope you have a wonderful day today, and that you will thank Jesus for his sacrifices and that you will put him first. Have a good day.